see you.
Alright everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Lori, and today, this is going to be pretty, chill video. I'm just going to go over some of the recent news and the theories that have been going around on the internet about Five Nights at Freddy's security breach, and personally what I've been thinking, because I've had a lot to say. However, and I'm sure you're wondering, if you go back into my channel and figure out, what videos I've made, wow, you haven't made a video in a while. Yes, that's right, I've been super busy with school lately, and I apologize. I have been meaning to make a lot more videos, and I hope this video right now, it's not going to be anything special editing-wise. It's just basically going to be a rant, if you will, of a bunch of theories that I have off the top of my head. Something quick that I can just get out because, I've really wanted to do something video-wise for a while now. It's just, I've needed something that's been a little easier to handle, something that I can do in a couple of days. Now, with all that said and done, let's go ahead and just get into it. So, the last news that we've gotten so far on the Five Nights at Freddy's security breach game in general has been the tech demo, which I will go over, but as everyone knows, there really wasn't that much within the tech demo, or at least lore-wise. There was a little bit, but like I said, I'll get into that. However, I have found something that has been quite interesting. At least it's been picking at my brain for a while, and I haven't seen anyone talk about it. So, a while back it was revealed, I don't have the full picture up, but I have a little mini Gregory over here. It was revealed that the voice, the one that was saying the line, "Gregory, be still," I think she's found us, the deeper voice, it was kind of revealed that it was Freddy.
Gregory, be still. I think she's found us.
And it's obvious by that because if you look at the new Five Nights at Freddy's statues that are coming out, I don't know if they're still on pre-order or not, but they're the foot-tall statues, and actually, I can pull up, there we go, nice little picture right there. I don't remember when they're coming out, but basically, there's a hiding mechanic in this game, as it's been clarified that there's some sort of hiding mechanic with Freddy, which makes sense. He's got the open chest cavity, and I can mark that down. I need another layer. And we're on my art program right now because there are a couple things that I do need to mark out. The first thing is, if we go over here, I notice there's this little indent right here. That's obviously somewhat of a handle to open up the chest cavity for Gregory to hide in. And, oh, let me change the color. That's a little too light. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll turn this down just a wee bit, so then it'll make the marker that I've got a little bit more noticeable. Much better. Okay, so with that, it's obviously some sort of handle to open the chest cavity. But someone, and I don't know who, I was just scrolling around Twitter, or it was Tumblr, somewhere on social media, and someone had pointed out that Freddy was not the only one who had the handle to the chest cavity. If anything, there was another animatronic on here who had it. Obviously not Roxanne, and Gregory not Gregory, I keep getting Gregory and Montgomery mixed up for some reason. I think it's just because they both, end in a Y. But no, Chica, I'd never noticed this, also has that little, indent for a handle. Which is very odd, how no one has noticed this yet, except for that one person. It's odd how I didn't notice it. I mean, I scaled this entire poster. I've looked at it for hours, and I have not, I didn't see anything on it. And this is the first time I'm even noticing that. So I'm glad someone had pointed that out. And I'm looking at Montgomery over here because, honestly, this part right here, I think is more of just, aesthetic choice. There's no indent to open up the chest cavity on him. But these two, they have it. And I think I can explain why. And it's based on a theory that technically isn't fully mine. I am going to give credit to a certain YouTuber called Super Horror Bro Mike. Or Super Horror Bro, I highly recommend you check out his channel. And I believe it was this video right here that I had watched, where basically the theory was some of the animatronics are going to be good, and some are not. This was also, there's evidence from the tech demo, but like I said, we'll get into that. And I want to talk about that real quick. This idea that some might be good and some might not be, and I can easily point out which ones will be and which ones will not. And here. It's very simple. We can use, maybe blue. How well will that stick out? Not very good. I'm figuring out which colors are gonna stick out better. Maybe orange? No! Let's turn this down then. Maybe that's the problem. A little finicky. Alright, let's just go with yellow, because I feel like that'll stick out. All we have to do is I'm just going to go like this. You start to see it now? Mind you, this is not just this promotional material. This is on every promotional material, and if you haven't seen it yet, it's always, these two right here are always paired. Do I understand why? Kind of. And it's the same thing, these two are also always paired. Which again, something, you know, I kind of noticed, but since they're always seen as a team, it didn't really stick out to me until it was brought up by the fact of their color palettes. If you'll notice, you look at Montgomery and Roxanne just a little bit closer, their color palettes are a lot darker. You're seeing a lot more greens, a lot more purples, you know, just in a sense, the cool color palette, if you will. If we're looking at, say, in art-wise, these are the cool colors, and then you've got warm colors over here. And it's funny how there's a lot of green and purples, because the first thing I think of when I see these colors is sort of a Disney villain vibe, if you will, because, like, especially back in the 2D animation, you know, when Disney actually animated stuff in 2D animation. The good days. But, a lot of the villains had, you know, kind of that, either the greenish hue, like I'm thinking of Scar and his song, and how there was a specific section of his song that was just lit all in green. I believe it was at the beginning of the song. Ursula, same thing. She's got the purple look to her. So it makes sense, you know, that these two would be on one side. And then, of course, you look at Freddy and Chica, who their color palettes are a lot brighter. They're a lot more colorful. They're definitely along, like, the red, oranges, and yellows. And even white, of course. You know, there's just... they stick out. And it makes sense why both goes with which. Now, why am I specifically pointing out the color palettes? Why am I dividing these for characters? Because I have a theory that Miss Vanessa over here, or Vanny, because technically I guess this character is Vanessa, which I'm not really sure about. I'm honestly so confused with how that works, because this apparently was Vanessa, and that is Vanny. Meaning that these two characters could possibly be the same character, but, like, not? I have no idea. Honestly, I don't want to touch that territory until I have more evidence on that one, because the only evidence I have to even connect these two together is the other figurine that was coming out, but I'm not going to show that one. But anyway, the reason why I was pointing these two out specifically was because I have a little bit of a theory that Vanessa, or Vanny, whoever you want to call her, might end up taking over some of the animatronics within the pizzeria. Now, I think it's pretty obvious that she's already done it with the Moon animatronic, who, by the way, has an official name. His name is Moondrop. And you can tell because of the obvious red eyes going on there. Oh, that's really bad. No, circle. Here we go. Obvious red eyes, and obviously it's a color symbolism thing, so it makes sense. But I thought about something, and it's like, okay, wait a minute. Moon animatronic, huh? Moon animatronic. With the nighttime, cool-colored characters. And then the Sun animatronic, which we know he's there. We don't know his name, that's why this is in question marks, is I don't know what to call him. So I'm just going to call him the Sun animatronic. Has, you know, obviously is probably going to be paired on this side. Could this mean that this is going to be a split team action game, in a sense of you have Vanny, who, I'm going to get rid of this. You have Vanny, who her team, let's mark it in red. You obviously got her, then you've got Montgomery, Roxanne, and you've got the Moon animatronic, or Moondrop, if you will. And I have a theory that what she's going to end up doing is, since she has these, like, glitch trap abilities, is she figures out a way to take over these specific animatronics. I personally believe that these three right here are not evil by any means. I actually think at the beginning of the game, all four of these characters, our four main animatronics, will be good. But something's going to happen, she's going to do something to the other four. So then what does that mean for, you know, these three over here? Okay, so let's mark them in, I don't know, orange. So I think on this side, since you got Vanny, who's got these three, I would say on Night Guard, I don't know what to call her. I really don't, because I don't think Vanessa is the set name for some reason. I don't know, I'm just gonna call her the security guard. So then on the security guard side, you have essentially, you have Freddy, you have Chica, you have her, of course, and then you have the Sun animatronic. 2 teams, or 2 sides, 4 characters on both sides. And it immediately reminds me, or kind of makes me think of a yin and yang vibe, or just a sun and moon, like it's night and day, you know, they're as different as night and day. Which is interesting, because Scott Cawthon, you know, he's known for secrecy, he's known for the theories and all that, but symbolism, not as much. He's not really, if we want to go with color symbolism, maybe, but I feel like this is taking a totally different turn from the usual, which I like. I'm actually glad that instead of, you know, just the usual, oh, the animatronics are bad trope that we've always had for years. No animatronics that we've seen, from what I understand, have been good. I can't really think of any of them. And even if they seemed good, they didn't really contribute to anything. So, well, okay, I take that back. There was one time, and that was in the books. That was in Silver Eyes with Foxy, because he ended up, quote-unquote, saving a child at one point. I don't remember the child's name, which that just made me think of something about Gregory, but I'll touch on that in a minute. But the reason, you know, that it's kind of a given that there's a split team, that there's going to be different sides, whatever, great, it's already established. But what I wanted to get into was the fact that this game has characters that don't look as intimidating. Like, okay, let's just not even worry about these characters for a minute, right? Let's just not even worry about them. I'm talking about our main 4 right here, and we're not going to talk about these 2 either right now. Compared to the other Five Nights at Freddy's games, never once have I seen a team of animatronics so less intimidating. If I gotta be honest with you, they seem very kid-friendly. They seem like actual, you know, Disney mascots, if you will. If you look at the artwork for, say, the first Five Nights at Freddy's game, just at the models alone, there's such a different vibe of, these are supposed to be creepy. They're supposed to look, you know, intimidating. And that's not just from the first game, it's the second. I'm gonna skip the 3rd and 4th because there's a reason why they look creepy. And then, of course, Sister Location and FNAF Simulator. The 4 games that I just listed, all the animatronics should be tailored to kids. But they look intimidating as heck. But this time we have characters that actually look less intimidating. I'm not, you know, I don't feel, especially with Freddy and the fact that we now have him, you know, hiding Gregory, there is a chance that for the first time in this series, we're getting the concept of good characters. Good animatronics. Think about that. After all it's been, what, 6 years? Almost 7? And we've never once had the idea of good animatronics, but I think also, I like to think of it this way. Since we as the audience, and I think I can speak for everyone who's been a part of this series for a very long time, when we think of the Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics, we are intimidated. They are supposed to look scary. So, now that we're seeing them in this new light, it's almost like seeing it from a child's perspective. You know what I mean? Like, you've got, I would say, I'm going to brighten that back up, I apologize. I would say this right here, since it's on the sun side, it's supposed to be brighter, it's supposed to be happier, this would be, in a sense, a child's perspective, or Gregory's perspective, whatever. And then as for the audience, as for us, I don't know, I don't have a picture for the audience or whatever, but whatever, we'll just put that. As for us, we see this. We see, you know, these evil animatronics. That's what we're used to. And I think that's what intrigues me the most about this game, is we're getting 2 different perspectives. There is, in a sense, with every good, there is every evil. You know, we have a good security guard, like we have a good female lead, who's obviously probably on the good side, and then we have an evil one. So it makes me wonder, why the sudden change in symbolism, Scott? Huh? You mind answering that one? He probably won't, because he doesn't answer anything. That's probably something that MatPat's gonna have to figure out, not gonna lie. But something else that I want to bring up that will definitely clarify, I think, at least the theory that these two will be going evil, is the tech demo. Now, I've said I wanted to talk about that because there were a lot of people who were super disappointed about the tech demo because it was rumored that it was supposed to be the second trailer. That's what it was supposed to be. I assure you right now that it was not supposed to be the second trailer at all, and I think you can figure that out by looking at it. And Scott has officially said that he apologizes for the disappointment, but the second trailer is coming out in March, okay? So mark your calendars, do what you gotta do. Honestly, I'm just gonna wait until Dako reacts to it because that's just kind of how I normally do it. Well, I say that, and this tech demo, for the first time, I actually watched the live stream along with watching Dako. Like, I had 2 different tabs open, just seeing what was going to happen. And, like I said, a lot of people were disappointed in the tech demo because, well, that's all it was. It was a tech demo. You gotta think, not only is Five Nights at Freddy's finally going to an official console game, but it's also using the new ray tracing technology, which, mind you, I don't know a lot about. I'm more educated in lore than I am graphic stuff. Honestly, as long as I can play the game and I'm not glitching through walls and stuff, and the animatronics aren't flying all the way to China, I don't care. Really, seriously. It's fine. Whatever. But you gotta think about that alone. That it's a Five Nights at Freddy's game using the newest technology. That, to me, is impressive enough, but talking from a lore standpoint, there was one thing that was super important. Mind you, I'm sure there were plenty of other things you could point out. There was a better picture of the Sun animatronic in that trailer, or the tech demo somewhere. This was just the only one I found because of time. But that's not what I want to talk about. Instead, I want to talk about the new voice that is at the end of the tech demo. Mind you, I think the tech demo is like, maybe 30-ish seconds, maybe a minute. It's not that long, if I gotta be honest with you, because it's just showing new areas and how the game looks. But through most of the tech demo, you hear Vanny, you hear, this lovely lady over there, hear her talking the entire time. She's telling Gregory, oh, you can come out. I'm gonna put you to bed. Which is AKA, I'm gonna put you in your coffin and then bury you alive. You're welcome. Most likely that's what she's saying in context. But at the end of the tech demo, there is a voice, a new one, and you can tell it's new because if you compare Vanny's voice, which everyone knows Vanny's voice at this point. We've heard it twice, we've technically heard it 3 times. One in the VR game and then the trailer and the tech demo, so that's 3 times. So we know the voice, but this new voice it's different, and if you take a listen to it and compare the two, you can see why it's different.
It's getting late. Let's get you home and put you to bed.
I see you.
Now, it's down to who do I think this character is? Who do I personally believe this voice belongs to? And I'll say it right now, I personally believe that it belongs to Roxanne. And here's my evidence as to why. So, obviously it is a female voice. We can scratch out Vanny because we know it's not her. The voice alone, usually when you're picking a voice out, by the way, it's supposed to match the aesthetic of the character. So I'm immediately also going to cross off Chica on this one because not only just her aesthetic is a lot, obviously, brighter, it's more fun, but if you go and listen to other versions of Chica, say in like Ultimate Custom Night, her voice is what I would say squeaky. Not like Minnie Mouse squeaky, but it's a lot cuter in a sense. It's not, it's supposed to be kind of girlish. So that's another one. And then of course the security girl, I highly, highly doubt that it's her. Because why would she be having an evil voice like that? It doesn't make any sense. And not to mention the voice aesthetically would match Roxanne. Unless there is another female character that we don't know about, but I highly doubt it because we already have all of these characters. Like, this alone, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Did I count that right? I'm not good at math. Yes, that's 9 characters. That's a decent amount of characters for as big as this game's going to be, and not counting the fact that there are other animatronics. Yes, I did see them in the tech demo before. Someone's gonna point it out to me. They were like the little restaurant animatronics. I really don't know that much about them, if I gotta be honest with you. I just know that they're there. Sorry, my chair keeps moving. There we go. That's much better. But that's about 9 main characters in total. I mean, maybe 7 if you don't want to count these two. So, I mean, whatever. It's up to you. But my point is I honestly think it's going to be her. And because of how evil it sounds, how malicious the voice sounds, I really do think that it quite honestly justifies the theory that I had earlier about the whole split. And I think gameplay-wise, Gregory, I think maybe we're going to be playing as mostly Gregory. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Here's how I think the game's going to work. I'm going to say about... okay, let's divide this up. I'm going to say about 75% of the game, we're going to be playing... That was the wrong layer. There we go. We're going to be playing as the blonde security guard. Because we've always played as a security guard. That's just kind of a given. And I'm going to say the other, 25%? That is when we will be playing as Gregory. And here's how it's going to work. I assume, by the fact that the game is using ray tracing and it looks free roam, that it is going to be free roam. So, most of the time we are going to be this security guard checking, maybe doing side tasks, sort of like in, what is it called? I'm having a blonde moment. Among Us. It's like Among Us, where, you're running around on a cruise ship. And, you're a crewmate, and you gotta go do all your tasks and stuff. That's probably what she's going to be doing. And then the other 25 is going to be, I would say, like a hide-and-seek minigame. Because that's something that the Five Nights at Freddy's series has always done, is they've had minigames. Of course, it's always been the 8-bit minigames, but now that we're, doing console and free roam, I think that the minigames are going to be larger, and I think it's going to be as Gregory, and we're going to be hopping from animatronics, specifically these two, and just a hiding mechanic. And if we can't get to these two in time, that's when we gotta go hide behind boxes and stuff, and maybe even we gotta help these two, help Gregory, you as the player at that point, get him out. Or survive until 6 a.m., like the staple has always gone. I'm not really sure. That's only a guess. I could be very wrong, and it could be switched. Honestly, maybe Gregory is the 75%. And you've got Miss Security Guard, who still really doesn't have a name. I'm still not accepting Vanessa until it's clear. Okay, I'm just saying. It could be that. Or it could be the opposite way around. I am not sure. But personally, I think that's it. We haven't gotten that much. I was gonna wait until the second trailer came out, but the whole thing with the chest cavity was really bothering me, that no one had talked about that, and the fact that, oh, wait a minute, before we end this, that was the other thing I meant to mention. Tell me, if the animatronics are family-friendly, they're child-friendly, and mind you, these are the most child-friendly animatronics we have gotten. They look it, Why do they still have the open chest cavities? You could say it's for technical use. However, we know that in the series, children have been stuffed into suits before. It is a staple. Heck, if you're playing Five Nights at Freddy's VR, Help Wanted, and you're playing the, I'm drawing another blank. What is it called? It's the repair minigame. That's what it is. The repair minigame, and you're specifically repairing Freddy. The chest cavity, you'll notice, opens up immediately. And not only does it have a child's shoe, but it has a child's hat, implying that not only could a child get in there, but a child could easily get trapped in it. And he's not the only one. Funtime Freddy is another example. There's evidence of this within the Fazbear Frights books. So, that I could see that too. Baby, not as much. I mean, she just kind of had a scooper thingy. I don't really know how to describe it, but you get my point. I thought Afton was supposed to be dead. So why do they still have these cavities that are still designed to capture children? Unless This is in a separate universe where all of the, let's say all the games, 1 through Custom Night, are, as some people have been theorizing, what if they really are just games in this other Five Nights at Freddy's universe, and now this is the real universe, and this villain, William Afton, who's been sent these games, has now come out into the real world. Which, also, let's think about this for a minute. Glitchtrap is a living, well, glitch. He is a living glitch. Huh, okay. That's interesting. Do you understand what that means? Like, do you understand what an actual glitch is? And like, you know, when we think of glitches, I'm sure we think of like those funny video game glitches. I'm sure you're thinking of the Cyberpunk 2077 glitches right now. I wouldn't be surprised if you were, because I'm definitely thinking of them right now. I'm thinking of all those Skyrim glitches, you know. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're scary. Scary ones like in PT, you know, whatever. However, the fear of glitches always are kind of renounced because we all know that they could never escape into the real world. They're glitches, they're technical glitches, but now we have the idea that it can not only possess people, but it can affect people and the real world. That is a terrifying thought. That is absolutely terrifying to think that this reality, let's say that this is reality, this game. It's terrifying to think that this tiny glitch could literally tear apart the fabric of reality, if you will. And no one has said anything. And before someone says that's ludicrous, you know, how could that ever happen? How could that ever be? I also want to point you back to the Fazbear Frights books. Mind you, these are the newest books. And with each book, there is 3 stories in each book. So they're like little miniature stories. They're supposed to be like scary campfire stories, if you will. Except really creepy, because the one I'm about to tell you about is ridiculously creepy. And before you ask, yes, this is all real, and no, I'm not making this up. So there's one story about a guy who's working on a game, it's not going so well, and his main character is, or I think it's a villain or something like that, is a glitchy bunny, basically. It's basically supposed to be Springtrap in a sense. And he ends up finicking around with the system, with the game code, and skip forward to the end of the story, because, you know, this guy not only brings the glitch out into the real world, but the way that it's done is probably the creepiest part. This glitch comes out into the real world via impregnating the guy and then clawing his way out of this guy's stomach. No, I'm not joking. Yes, I want to vomit. Why? Scott, what is going on? Do we need to have a talk? Like, oh my gosh! Look, I know this series can get dark, but jeez! Computer, you really gotta do this right now? All the fans are turned on. Really? Oh, you just want to get louder? Yeah, go ahead. I'll wait. This is the shit I gotta deal with. Okay. Back to what I was saying. Sorry about that. Okay, we're at the 30-33 mark, just for clarification. Sorry about that. Fans turned on. Anyway, what was I saying? Crap. Man, this is what happens. I turn on the fans and then they just, oh, come on. I didn't even turn it on. No, I didn't even turn the fans on. They decided to turn themselves on. And now I forgot. Okay, yeah, right. Weird impregnation story thing. Okay, I know this series can get really dark at times. Do not get me wrong, I am aware of that. And I can handle some dark stuff. However, is it just me, or is that something that sounds like it came straight out of, like, Resident Evil 7? You know, like, it doesn't sound like a Five Nights at Freddy's game. It never, or just lore in general. I don't know. But either way, I look at it this way. Not only that, not only the books, but this game, I think, is going to be the point where there is no turning back, pretty much. I think all the games leading up to it have been sort of the outside shell of the animatronic, if you will. And now, with this game and the books, we're starting to take off that shell and see not only the endoskeleton, but the bloodstains on the endoskeleton. Wonderful. I can't wait. And I'm personally ready to cry, because knowing that, I'm actually wondering, what is the rating going to be for this game? Is it going to be teen? Or is it going to be M? Because, oh no. Oh no. Well, either way, I'm buying the game, so I don't care if it's M or T. So, anyway, I think that's all I've got to say. Oh, jeez. I'm looking at my time. It's like 30 minutes. I know I'm going to edit this down, so it's not that big of a deal. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, just as a reminder, I have social medias. Like I said, I've been really busy right now, so I can't post many YouTube videos. However, and that's a big however, I do have 3 social medias that you can follow where I'm pretty much constantly on there for updates and artwork that I make, because why not? And, you'll get notifications on certain projects that I'm working on and any videos. Not only that, subscribe if you want to, hit the notification bell, do what you gotta do. Honestly, it's up to you. And also, if you're listening to this video at like 4 a.m. in the morning, just as I'm doing, recording this video, stop, go to bed, you need sleep, okay? I'm just letting you know now because I'm looking at my clock, realizing that I probably need to go to bed. Anyways, as I said before, my name is Lori, and I will see you all in another video.